Good morning. It's Saturday, June 22nd. I'm Lissette Nuñez in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox local app. Well, the search continues for two teenage boys who went missing in the water off Jacob Riis Park in Queens. Rescue swimmers and divers responded to the scene just after 6:30 last night. Helicopters and drones have been used in this desperate search. Well, the NYPD is looking for a suspect accused of stabbing to death a 40-year-old man in Washington Heights. It happened at the 175th Street subway station. Police say the victim was stabbed to death near the turnstiles. Investigators believe the victim and the suspect knew each other. And checking the forecast for the weekend, hot and humid temperatures will continue today, a high of 95 degrees with pop-up showers. Tomorrow, 96 with afternoon storms. Well, he played a major role leading up to the arrest of the suspect accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl in a Queens Park. Detective Jason Harvey has been a sketch artist with the NYPD for 24 years. Fox 5's Jessica Formoso sat down with him to learn all about the process and what made him choose this career.
It was a full-out manhunt for this man, Christian Inga, who police say raped a 13-year-old girl inside Casino Park. The sexual assault made headlines this past week. There were no cameras inside the park. The NYPD turned to its forensic sketch artists unit.
My role was to develop her memory, and she was able to describe the person, so we were able to take pertinent information, get it on paper and out there to people who give us good information. Detective
Jason Harvey is a forensic artist. He was a cop in Harlem for 5 years when he started, but for the last 20 years, he's been sketching the faces of suspects.
If there's no video, this is the next step. If you want an image of the guy and there's no video, this is the only way the only option.
In this latest case, he depended on the bravery and memory of the 13-year-old's victim. Harvey says the details she gave were crucial.
That was the tattoo. It was a very identifiable feature, which is what you look for when you're making a sketch. You want something that stands out as unusual.
Drawing these composite sketches is no easy task. It takes time, approximately 2 hours.
You basically ask the person to describe the suspect. Then after that, we're going to move to photographs, and they're going to pick out things that they mentioned about this person. Features like eyes, nose, and mouth.
With children, he says, it's a totally different language.
They don't know how to see things in terms of anatomy, so like an adult will.
He's done thousands of sketches throughout his career, sketches that have helped catch the suspect, but Detective Harvey stays humble.
It feels good to have a role, but I don't take credit. We have detectives in the field. What we do is we make investigative tools for them to use to help identify people.
He says it's a privilege to do the work he does.
Working with the victims and helping them to recover from the trauma that they just experienced, and there's a cathartic aspect to this.
At police headquarters, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
A subway musician was robbed while performing in the Union Square subway station. Natalia Paruz, known as the Saw Lady, was playing her musical Saw on Tuesday when a man reached into her tip bucket and stole some of her money before running off. She tried to bat the man away with her bow while calling for police. Paruz told the Post she doesn't know how much money the man got away with. So far, no arrests have been made. The Supreme Court upheld a gun control law intended to protect domestic violence victims. The justices ruled 8-1 in favor of a 1994 ban on firearms for people under restraining orders to stay away from their spouses and partners. The justices reversed a ruling from the Federal Appeals Court in New Orleans that struck down the law. Chief Justice John Roberts said the law uses common sense and applies only after a judge determines that an individual poses a credible threat of physical violence. And summer is officially here, and that means many have already begun planning their vacation getaways, and it comes as the airline industry came under the microscope this week following some scares in the air. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino talked to flyers at LaGuardia Airport to see if they're concerned.
Yovel Benabu is one of the hundreds of millions of travelers expected to jump on flights this summer. Still, he says he can't shake worrisome headlines about bad things happening in flight.
Before booking, I wanted to make sure I was not on a 737 MAX. Like, I looked at the aircraft before actually getting on the plane.
You actually did that?
I did, yeah. So I will divert to something that is not a 737, for example, just because, you know, it makes me a little nervous.
Boeing is not the only aviation company making headlines. Earlier this week, a Southwest Airlines plane, for no apparent reason, dove to below 500 feet above an Oklahoma City neighborhood. Some people thought it was going to hit their homes. Kyle Bailey is an aviation analyst and FAA safety team analyst. He told us while these mishaps are scary, he believes it's the attention to them that's gone up, not the number of incidents.
What we are seeing here basically is the perfect storm with social media, television, and media around the world pretty much capturing every single aviation incident, big or small, on television and in the media. And we're seeing that magnified.
We also caught up with travelers like Brian Alvarez, who agree.
We're safer on the plane than we are in the car. You hear about car accidents every day, and people still driving, so.
U.S. Airlines expect to fly more than 26,000 flights per day this summer. That's almost 6% more than last year. Experts say you can expect some frustrations. And if you have a problem, best advice, put the airline on blast on social media, because they know everyone is watching and listening. At LaGuardia Airport, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Well, some ticket holders from last year's Electric Suit Festival will finally get refunds. You guys remember that? The ill-fated festival took place more than 9 months ago on Randall's Island. There were several lawsuits after the first day of the festival was canceled. The second day was delayed by hours, and the last day was plagued by overcrowding issues. Organizers say full and partial refunds will be processed by mid-July. It turns out you don't need to escape to the Caribbean to experience that crystal clear blue ocean we all dream of. Social media is blowing up with people commenting on how clean the water is at the Jersey Shore. Now Fox 5's Teresa Priolo explains what may have contributed to this.
From social to the shore, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. This isn't the Maldives or even Turks and Caicos. It's Belmar down at the Jersey Shore.
It looks actually like, it looks like we're in like Puerto Rico. It's nice and clear.
Over the last few weeks, the water has become crystal clear. Some say it's the oyster beds purifying the water. Others talk of upwelling, the process of cold water rising to the surface. Maybe it's the lack of significant rainfall recently, or perhaps it's the result of years of state environmental mandates. Whatever the reason, Chief Lifeguard Harry Harson is impressed.
We've actually seen a lot more marine life this year than normal, like dolphins and whales and all sorts of fish. So there is definitely something to be said for the cleanliness of the water and the environmental efforts that have been made to keep it clean.
Then there's the wind direction. A northeast wind is said to dredge up particles in the ocean, but lately wind down here has been southeast, providing for clear water. And beachgoers are noticing.
This year, water is much cleaner than last year.
It just seemed like there was more debris and more cloudiness to the water. So I think this year just so far looks a little clearer.
It's a green, bluish color. Yeah, very nice looking.
And if there was ever a time for the water to show off, it's now, when crowds here at the Jersey Shore swell to 50 or 60,000 in Belmar alone. Now, if we could just get the water to warm up a little bit. It's a little cold for my liking. In Belmar, New Jersey, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
The Queens Chamber of Commerce crowns the winner of the inaugural Queen's Best Burger Contest. The prestigious award going to Donovan's Pub in Woodside. The owner says their burger is made with 3 different meats. They also say each meal is handcrafted with love. Residents were asked to vote for their favorite restaurant out of 12 options. And congrats to Donovan's for claiming the bragging rights. Well, Knicks fans won't like this. The Boston Celtics held a victory parade today to mark their record 18th World Championship. More than 1 million people lined the streets for the Duck Boat Parade yesterday afternoon. Celtics players and coaches took turns holding the Larry O'Brien Trophy, which they won after beating the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games. Let's get a final check of the forecast. Temperatures will be in the 90s with a chance of showers today and tomorrow. And those hot temperatures will continue. And that does it for us this morning. I'm Lissette Nuñez. Have a great day. Remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming here on the Fox local app.